In the last video, I promised you that I will show you how can you achieve the ordering of the input variables but still having the arbitrary number of them. Remember, this looks like much familiar to you. That's a call that can be made to a function, and remember the function definition in some previous slide was like C1, C2 and C3 maybe, and then something. What if we want an arbitrary number of arguments to be passed, but we want their controlled? For example, let's say this particular variable symbol name that acts as a key, that's a variable name and that's the value. So let me call the variable name as a key, and this is the value that is copied in the variable. That's another key, that's a value. That's another key, that's a value, and so on. What if we have a lot of key value pairs? What if we have a lot of them? And we also want to check which value is of what key. Let's say we want to specify those, but we want to specify an arbitrary number of them. Let's say here, for example, there are only 3. Let's say we want to pass 5 of them, 6 of them, and then we want our function to perform accordingly, no matter how many input arguments it received. Yeah, and maybe inside the function we may have applied a check that if the key value is C1, then do this processing. If the key value is C2, then do that kind of processing, and so on. Let's say based on different variable symbol names, we want to process the value differently. How can we achieve that and still having the need that these number of variables can be in a variable length? They can be an arbitrary number of those. So Python gives you again a very simple way. Rather than writing a single star, you write a double star, and then you receive in whatever variable name. And now in this double star means you are receiving a key value pair list. It's a list of key value pairs. We will see that resembles to a data structure in Python called dictionary. We will see dictionary later on in detail, but right now just consider that this input argument, this input variable C, it contains a list of key values pairs. And then you can just iterate over the C. You can just apply a for loop to check the contents of this. Remember, we have actually done that kind of thing in the portion of loops. Yeah, here. Remember, that was a key and that was a value, that was a key, that was a value, and we did that thing. We could explore we were able to explore the dictionary just using for loop. Yeah, it's the same thing here. It's not exactly, but you can think of that. That's exactly the same thing. So you can explore that C looks like a dictionary now. This is key, this is value, this is key, this is value, this is key, this is value. You can, this X points to the first key, then C of X points to the value based on the key X, and then X points to the second key, then the second value, and so on. That is very simple procedure. You are just printing all the dictionary, but you are printing all the variable names and their values, but you can do very complicated processing if you want to. Let's go to our friend Jupyter Notebook to just get convinced that this indeed works. Let's see. So let's define a function first. So def, the function name is print all variables and values. So that might be a function name. Wow, that's a lengthy one, but descriptive one. Maybe we can make it more descriptive. Print all variable names and values. Wow, that's more descriptive, I guess. So it receives, let's say, double star, any variable. Let's say the variable name is, again, let's say args or anything, whatever you want. Then what we do is for x in args, just print let's say variable name is, just print x, and then okay, just print x, and then just continue and value is args of x. So let's say you did this. So the variable name is this and the value is this. Okay, and you want to do this for all the variable and value pairs that you send at the call time. So now let's call this print all variable names and values, and let's call this, let's say the first variable name, let's say is a, and its value is 3. The second variable name is, let's say, b, its value is capital B. Let's say the third variable name is c, its value is ccc. And let's say the fourth variable name, I mean, you can define an arbitrary number of arguments here. Wow, that's amazing. Let's say the fourth variable name is y, its value is 6.7. And further notice, you can pass variable and value, all have different types, I mean different number of them, and much more. Yeah, you can do that. So let's call this function by just having 4 variables and their values. Let's see what we got. So variable name is a and the value is 3. Variable name is b and the value is b. Variable name is c and the value is ccc. Variable name is y and value is 6.7. You can give an arbitrary lengthy list here if you want, and Python just allows you to do that, and it allows you to do that in a very, very simple way. That's amazing. That's amazing. I mean, that's what a high-level language, or really a powerful language, should have a feature. So Python does have this feature. I'm really amazed. I really astonish Python. By the way, I'm not saying the other languages don't have this. Several languages actually support this kind of feature, but Python supports it in a very easy way. It's very easy to do that. I mean, it's not a rocket science. Yeah. Okay, so now we have handled an arbitrary number of arguments, even with ordering is really controlled. We have 1 or 2 more videos on functions just to explain a bit more. Then we will practice on Jupyter Notebook. We will play with these functions a lot, and we will be calling one function inside the other function and so on. We will be having one better program, just program a new Jupyter Notebook just to get comfortable with these functions. But before that, let's have 1 or 2 more things to discuss about the functions. Yeah, let's see. So hope to see you in the next video.